Hello, this is Manuel York for the Leading People Follow-Up program. Today, again, I would like to take a look at leading teams, and again, how to read teams and how to make good teams great. So what we already saw is that there are three areas that you can observe a team. It's first, the 5 personality traits. It's number 2, it's the way people treat each other, how they behave among each other, how they cooperate. And number 3 are the team phases. And I would like to take a look at number 2 and 3 today in order to make a good team great. So number 2 is, how do people behave among each other? Do you remember the model that we used to structure our observations? It was the model of John Gottman. John Gottman is a family therapist, and he found out a certain number of signals that can tell you whether a relationship works well or not. So we can use the same model to take a look at our teams. There were 5 signals. Do you recall these signals? Okay, let's go through them. Number 1 was talking past each other. So 2 people are in a conversation, but it looks like they are on 2 different pages. So they are not really connecting. Number 2 is being accused. Sometimes people accuse each other. It's like a court case. And number 3, therefore, is that people start to defend themselves. And number 4 is that in the end, they stonewall. They withdraw and say, I'm not talking anymore. And number 5 is that people really start hating each other, that they are disrespecting each other. So what can you do when you see that? Of course, our major tool is addressing. So when you see signals like that, just address it. So to make that visible to everybody, and through this, as you remember, that starts a process of self-reflection. And after addressing it a couple of times, people will then start self-reflecting, and they will realize themselves that they are talking past each other, or that they accuse, defend, stonewall, and then they will somehow settle themselves. So this is the first step that I would like you to take during the next days, to observe these signals and address them in order to stop them, so that people can then start connecting again and cooperating again. And this actually leads to a higher quality of cooperation during the team phases. So do you remember the team phases? It started with connecting. Then people stormed for ideas. And then they normed and structured their ideas. And then they started working together. And working together means to find solutions jointly and to make decisions jointly. So when you, and here it both connects, so when you interrupt negative behavior or accusing, defending, stonewalling behavior, people automatically start to connect and to collaborate. And in the end, what they then do is finding solutions jointly and making decisions jointly and then acting jointly. And this leads to a certain quality of self-autonomy. So these teams then are kind of self-supervising teams. And this leads to what we call self-organization, which is one of the highest states a team can reach. So what I would like you to do during the next days is, first of all, to observe for these Gottman signals, and if you see them, address it so that they can be interrupted and people can connect and cooperate again. And then secondly, take a look at the status of your team. In what phase is your team working today? Or in what phases? Sometimes a team slips or has different phases at the same time. Parts of the teams are in different phases. So take a look where they are and ask yourself, what can you do to help them to make the next step to the next phase? So this is all for today. It's a lot of work this week, a lot of observation, addressing, and making next steps for this week. So give it a try to make your good team great. And I wish you all the best. And this is Manuel York for the Leading People Follow-Up program.